Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Sold with Updike Pugh.
My name's Jeff Updike.
And I'm Weston Pugh, and we're here to talk to you just a little bit more about everything Dallas real estate.
That's right.
One of the things that we want to do today is start off the show by saying a big shout out to Cecilia. Thanks for tuning in, and cannot wait to get your feedback on today's show.
We'd also like to say welcome to Mindy and Paul, who are watching our podcast today, and kind of getting a flavor for who we are and what we do.
Yeah. So we wanted to go ahead and jump right in and talk to you about some of the listings that we've got and go over what makes them special, talk to you a little bit about the size and what else goes on with these houses.
The first one that we have is a unit that we just put in the MLS. It's a townhome in Carrollton, and it's at our Villas of Prestonwood development, and it is at 2813 Lindale. This is one of the completed units that's available there. It's about 2,200 square feet, really a real nice floor plan. You walk into it, downstairs is wide open with a really good-sized living room and a great kitchen.
Great amenities on this property as well. One of the interesting facts about this HOA is that the HOA actually takes care of the entire exterior of the property, leaving the homeowner only responsible for both the doors and the windows. So painting, siding, gutters, and landscaping is also included. So I think that this is a really great example of what we like to call walk and leave, and we find that they're being very popular both with first-time home buyers, but also we see lots and lots of downsizers that can't get enough of it. One of the great things about this neighborhood is it also offers several other products, including a very original two-bedroom, one-story. So if you'd like more information on these, please check in to updikepugh.com.
We have a specific tab on our website that will take you over to the Villas of Prestonwood. If you want to go right to their website, you can go to villasofprestonwood.com, and there are floor plans and shots of the amenities there. It's got a really, really great pool with an infinity edge on it. It's got a wonderful workout facility, jogging path around the private little community lake. So it's just a really, really well thought out product.
Yep. So the next product that we're going to talk to you a little bit about is one that's similar, a little bit older in product, but again, a 2-bedroom, 2.5 bath. This one is actually on Wood Creek. This is a neighborhood that is inside of Piedmont off of Northwest Highway. It's actually 4014 Wood Creek if you're looking for that. It's 2347 square feet. It's a 2-bedroom, 2.5 bath. And it comes in right at $425. This is a really good example of what kind of like a 70s modern was. Lots of high ceilings and natural light coming into this house. Great floor plan for open, for entertaining. And the wood floors make a really seamless transition so it doesn't feel like it's been kind of piecemealed together. We've represented several in the neighborhood. This neighborhood also is one that is going to come with a great pool, gated community. So overall, we would probably say its biggest asset is given its location. This one's
located, the complex itself is located on the north side of the Northwest Highway between Midway and Marsh, and it's very convenient for access to I-35. You can take Lemon right into downtown Dallas. You can get on the tollway very easily. Love Field's right around the corner if you're a Southwest Airlines employee, and it's just a really fantastic location.
This is, again, across from the street from where there used to be a really large apartment complex that has recently been demoed, and now we're seeing a real luxury apartment complex coming in. So we're really beginning to see more and more people take notice of this neighborhood, and we think that it has a very strong trajectory in the Dallas market.
Our last one is a property that we have on Juniper, and this is a really cool 4-bedroom, 3-bath. It's about 3,200 square feet.
Let's take a look at this one and see what we've got. Did you say it's priced at $449,900?
Right.
One of the great things about this one is people always eat with their eyes, and the first thing you'll see is curb appeal. This one has wonderful mature trees in this. It's easily one of those ones that could be updated a little bit more if you wanted to, but pretty much as you go through the pictures, the fit and finish of this house is amazing as far as like the kitchen. Don't have to spend money there.
Really nice drive up, plantation shutters. It's one that you walk into. You really have almost nothing left to do into this.
One of the things that we see so many time and time again is when people actually listen to us and take the advice and go ahead and go in with a neutral palette. A neutral palette is one of those key elements, and I think we've talked about before in one of our Earth shows. A neutral palette is one of those that allows buyers to come in and see themselves in it. A lot of times when we see colors that are super bright, or we see colors that maybe are extremely seasonal, that is one of those things that kind of people think about it and they realize it's only paint, but at the same time, if they're really in a situation where it has to be a lock and leave, zeroing that thing out with a nice clean palette is excellent. And they've done a wonderful job of like going a little bit above and beyond and coming in with fit and finishes that so many people want today. Great kitchen, location.
Yep.
So.
And the last property that we want to talk about is one that's going to be coming on the market here very shortly. And this is condominium living has grown exponentially in the last few years because the price of single-family homes has increased so dramatically. This is another very, very convenient 2-bedroom, 2-bath condominium that's at 4616 Lovers Lane. It is, again, right off of the tollway, just to the east of Love Field. Yep. This is a 1-story unit, first floor. This is a kind of a diamond-shaped complex with one set of the buildings actually having backyards for their units. And this one, I think, has the largest backyard in the entire complex because of the location that it sits on in the complex.
This is one of those key neighborhoods. The location is, again, kind of between Bluffview and the Bird Streets. And we think that this one has a lot of potential, whether it's you that need it as an end user or want to actually use it as a beginning process for your portfolio. This house or this condo makes quite a bit of sense.
Yep.
Wood floors throughout. It's an easy open floor plan, so it makes it easier for clients to figure out how they're going to set up their furniture. And this private backyard that it also has is one of those great things for people with pet owners. Forgive us for the pictures. These were taken with our iPhone. We actually are in the process of having it repainted, and we'll have our professional photos up when it does go live in MLS.
It looks much better in real life than these photos can do it justice. So.
Well, I think that kind of concludes what we wanted to do today as far as talking about some of the real estate. Tune in next week when we talk about another round of homes. And if you have something that you're interested in knowing more about in one of these houses, please let us know. You can log on to updikepugh.com and click on the Contact Us, and we'll be happy to answer any of your questions. One of the next segments that we're going to segue into is this is I think one of the main things that we hear all the time right now.
It's kind of nuts and bolts of real estate.
Yep. People are always asking us what's going on with the market. And we see this time and time again, and I think that we saw this at the beginning of on Monday on the newspaper. One of the big taglines was talking about the Dallas market. So this is one of the ways that we kind of want to share with you a little breakdown. So Jeff, where did you get the information for the graphs that we're about to go over on this?
MLS.
MLS? And what was the parameters that you set for that?
Well, our MLS covers 35 counties across North Texas. And so many times when people look at data from the MLS, they look at it from a 30,000-foot view. And really, today we're going to look at it from about a 10,000-foot view. I've narrowed all of this information down to just Dallas County. But it gives a real good perspective of overall what's going on. If there's any of this information you would like, no matter how micro you want it, if you want it down to the block of your street, I have that available. I'll be happy to send that to you. Just give us a call or text us and let us know what you'd like, and we'll get it right back to you.
All right. So let's jump into this, and let's take a little dive into what are this first slide that we're going to look at. And I guess from this first slide, what we want to do is talk about is when is the best time for you to bring your house on the market?
And the first slide that we're going to show you is a graph of the last 5.5 years of the number of new listings that come on the market. And down on the bottom of this, you'll see the time as it goes across. And each one of these data points is a month. So as you can tell, January is kind of your beginning point. You pop up seeing new listings in February. In many of these, there's a little bit of you see them jump in January. There's a little downturn in February, but March, April, they just jump right back up. And you'll see that one of the trends that you'll notice in this is that from 2015, 16, and 17, the new listings were relatively stable as they came in, and now in 2018, you'll see that we've had a little bit of spike coming up over 3,500 new listings, and I think that was in May that occurred.
Okay, awesome. All right. So one of the things that I think that we always try to help with our sellers and both our buyers is wanting to know how long is it going to take for their home to sell, and why is that important?
Okay. If you look at the second slide there, it talks about the number of pending sales, and again, a house that is visually appealing, that has all of the right nuts and bolts together, and is priced well, is one that is probably going to sell in the first 30 to 45 days. Even in slower markets, people are always looking for kind of the cream of the crop house, and I think one of the things that we've found is they're willing to pay for that cream of the crop house right now, as long as it's not ridiculously priced.
Absolutely. And I think that was kind of one of the questions that I had for Alyssa a couple episodes ago when I said, do Dallas home buyers prefer Home Depot or do they prefer happy hour? And the question was happy hour. So that is key, getting your house ready to sell and getting it on day one in the best condition you can. One of the other things is that we want to know is, what time of year do most closings occur? And this is kind of an interesting question. Why do they want to know when they occur?
I think that most people want to know what the best timing for putting their home on the market is. And you can, one of the approaches that we always have is when we talk to our clients, when do you want to be in your new home? And because those factors that are causing that move are usually some of the more stressful factors that happen in life. It is birth and death and children and kids moving out and job changes and promotions and things like that. And those are really stressful times. And so we try to work to focus when is it going to be the least stressful point for them to move, and then back up from that, knowing how long it's going to take for us to market the home, how long it's going to take for us to get it ready, how much work they're going to have to do.
Absolutely. We kind of help them actually get it to where they maximize, if they have a relocation package, that they maximize their days with the relocation package, or we're able to back it up and help them with a lease. If they're in a current lease, we can work with them on that.
Absolutely.
So moving on to the next one is, let's see. This is more of an industry question when we talk about, is it a seller's market or is it a buyer's market? So what is the bar that we use to start off that measurement, and then describe what each one is and where we are?
Well, on this next slide, so this is the month's supply of inventory, and the most economists think that a balanced market is 3 months of 3 months of supply. And so if you get into a situation where you have, and the way that's factored is, if nothing else new came on the market today, how long would it take for everything to sell at the current pace? And so you can see that our market has been bouncing between, our Dallas County market's been bouncing between that 2.5% to 3%, and it's kind of come down a little bit, and now it's gone back up just a smidge this year. So to me, that says that we're beginning to see a much more balanced market, where it's not really the buyer's market that they're just getting a deal on everything, but it's also not a seller's market where they're able to put a home on the market at a ridiculous price and get multiple offers on it. That does still happen today, but it's usually when a house is really, really well done and it is priced accordingly to what the market can bear.
And I think that one of the things that we talked about on our way over here is we were talking about what is that perfect storm right now, whereas 3 years ago you could put a sign in the yard and you had multiple offers almost immediately. And today it's where does the financial and where does the actual look of the home meet. And that pricing is where we see houses move and go under contract in day one.
Right.
It's that absorption rate that we talked about.
Right.
That actually is also that big driver.
Yeah, and that really kind of jumps into our next slide, which is the average days on market. This is I think Dallas County performs better than some of the other counties because I'm sorry, for some of the more rural markets, because as you look at this from the larger and larger perspective, the days on market grows. I think across the MLS right now, the average days on market is about 77 days. But as you can see in the Dallas County area here, the average days on market's a little over 30.
Yeah. And so once that we've kind of looked at all of this and we've talked about when is the best time to put your house on the market, what are days on market, how long does it take to close, are we on a seller, are we on a buyer's market, I guess now it's time to kind of like wrap it up and say, you know, what is the overall census that we see for the Dallas market?
Well, from my perspective, it looks to be a very healthy market at the moment. We've definitely seen the pace of the price increases slow down. If we can go ahead and pull up this last slide, you'll see that over the last 5.5 years, the median sales price has grown and grown and grown. It has gone up about 35% in the last 3 years. But we're beginning to see that little downward trickle right there at the beginning, and that's very seasonal. You can see it happen in almost every year. I don't know that we'll see the prices bounce back. If we were to look at this graph in another 12 months, I don't know that we would see that pop, at a much sharper rate than what we've already seen.
Yep, I would agree with that. I feel like overall, what we're seeing is that a lot of the greed has been eliminated from the market. Home buyers have to really struggle, or not struggle, but really have to focus on putting their house on the market and making it the best day one that they have. One of the other components, and we haven't even hit on it, I don't want to go too deep into it, but inflation, interest rates, they go hand in hand. And right now, where do you see interest rates heading for buyers? Because buyers at the end of the day are the ones that are driving this absorption rate.
Well, the Federal Reserve has already stated that they're going to be increasing interest rates to help keep our economy warm and not cool it off too much, but begin to just make sure that inflation doesn't get out of whack. So we'll talk a little bit more next time about how that what the real cost of borrowing is, and the price of money, and how that affects your purchase.
Well, I think that's a great segment and a way to say that next week, tune in, and what we'll do is we'll give you a little crash course on what does your money actually buy you in today's interest rates, and what are some of the costs of that. We want to thank everybody for helping us put this together. It is a bittersweet day because this is going to be one of our last episodes with our wonderful assistant, Penelope. She has been an amazing asset to us, and I feel like we know that we have actually done a great job in hiring her because she has been scooped up by Southwest Airlines. So we'll be introducing you to all of our friends at Southwest Airlines so that you have a family that you'll already have built in for you.
Yeah,
so,
we want to say thank you.
Thank you so much. It's been wonderful.
Yep. So one of the last things we wanted to circle back to today was the website that we've set up about getting your home price or home value, and the website is homeprice.fyi. Got stuck in my head there, but it's a really easy way to kind of drill down in this data that we've just talked about. You put your property address in, put a couple of other pieces of info in, and boom, you instantly get a value on it. One of the cool things is you get a confidence score that goes along with this, and if you don't like that, if you just don't feel like that's accurate enough, give us a call and we'll be happy to really narrow that down for you.
It's a good jumping off point, and it always gives you something to kind of hang your hat on, but it's not the end all be all, just kind of like Zillow is not the end all be all. Sales prices are not released in the state of Texas, and therefore they actually have a disclaimer that says that they're not accurate because they don't have sold data. If that's something that you want to know, to be a nosy neighbor, or you're trying to track a property, or you just want to know what your house is going to sell for, let us know, and we'll be happy to give you a price and show you what comps we've used and why, and then adjustments that we've made, kind of like what the appraiser does, in order to best come up with a number that we feel can actually take advantage of the current market that we're in order to make transitioning from one house to the next as easy as possible.
And if you'd like to search any of the Dallas inventory, just go to our website, which is updikepugh.com. It's got a really great search tool built into it, and you can sign up for it to tell you about new listings that come on in certain neighborhoods or price changes. Really, pretty much anything you want, the real estate oriented, is right there for you.
Yep. And if you didn't get to watch this podcast and you want to see another version of it, please switch over to Facebook and go to our page, Updike Pugh, and you'll be able to see, we'll actually have it there from YouTube, and you can click on it, share it, and let us know your thoughts. I think that's about all we have for
That's
today.
all we have today. Thank you for joining us very much. We'll look forward to seeing you next week.
Tune in, and we'll see you next week.